Surprise! We're pregnant. Well, I'm not pregnant. Alaina's pregnant.
You guys never see Jordan. This is my husband.
Hi.
He's only gonna stay in for like a minute or two because he has stuff he has to do. But I just wanted you guys to hear from his perspective how I told him. So I'm currently 14 weeks when you're seeing this video. So we've known for like a little over 2 months, and there's like a backstory that I'll tell you guys later. But so how did I tell you I was pregnant?
Yeah. So I was working in the kitchen and
he still works from home.
Yeah, I work from home. So I work at our kitchen table. So I'm working and basically I have a meeting to go to, so I have to go get ready to leave. And I wasn't hungry for breakfast, but Alaina was like, I'm gonna make you breakfast. I was like, no, it's okay. I don't need breakfast. I'll just take something. No, I'm making you breakfast. I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna eat here. So before I go get ready.
Usually he does want breakfast. Like usually I make him breakfast. That wasn't like,
yeah.
like out of the normal.
I'm not a very good cook, so she normally makes me breakfast, which is awesome. So she makes the breakfast, the pancakes, and she gives me the plate, and there's a test beside it, a pregnancy test, and I'm like, no way. So I might have teared up a little bit, but yeah, my pancakes did not taste like pee, so that's good. But
the thing was, the cap is still on it. I just put it on the plate.
Wasn't sure if that was ever gonna happen. So we're super excited.
But I had known like a day, 2 days before that, but I like didn't believe it, and I needed to take like 5 or 6 tests in between that time until the morning that I actually told him. And that's why I was like, I have to tell him, like I can't hold it in any longer. So that was like the quickest thing that I could come up. I had like a little clip of like me telling him. It's kind of hard to tell because like the video is pretty dark, but I can share here just a little bit of the clip.
Okay.
No, you're not. No. You promised?
Fuck. There's no way. I know. There's no way. I'm gonna burn the pancake. I don't care. Oh my gosh.
She took more than 6.
It was
overall.
probably 7 or 8 overall, yeah.
So there you go.
But yeah, Jordan, thanks for sharing. He can step out now. He has stuff he has to get done. So
see you guys.
Okay, so I'm just gonna do a quick little recap here. This is usually only a business channel here, like only fashion, but I feel like this is just such a big part of our lives that we wanted to do one video on it. But just a quick little thing, almost all of the fashion videos that I want to continue doing will just be my normal videos. I don't plan on specifically buying maternity clothes other than like a pair of jeans maybe. So everything should stay relatively the same here with just a little sprinkle of you know, my everyday life in there. But so in the video, Jordan had mentioned he didn't know if it ever would happen. So I'm gonna share kind of our history really quickly, and then also kind of how I've been feeling over the last few months now. So, and oh my word, guys, there have been so many videos that I have filmed, and I've had to clip out me taking like a deep breath. It was actually the first symptom that I noticed. Was I was filming a video and I was just like out of breath, and I'm like, why am I out of breath? Because that never happens, but in that moment it didn't click. It just, all the pieces start to come together once you find out. But Jordan and I actually started trying exactly last September. Not this past September, but the previous September, so September 2020. And if you kind of been following around Instagram and things like that, I started having hormonal issues. Like I got off the pill in February of 2020, and then I started with a lot of hormonal issues. Remember, like I had talked about really bad acne I was getting on my cheeks, and I had missed my cycle like off and on a lot. But in September was around the time we're like, we want to start trying to have a family. And basically from September till like January, I was literally at the lowest point in my health journey, I felt like. And I have had quite the health history. I got super sick with Lyme disease 5 years ago, and you know, very sick. And thankfully over the last year, I've been able to get better from that, which is really good. So that was the first thing. We never even knew if we could have a family just because of my health state. But thankfully that all got cleared up. But then once I got off of birth control, that was like a whole nother round of now what's. So making a long story short, it was a very long story. My hormones were crazy out of whack. I actually went without my cycle for 9 months. 9 months. So a really long time. And I was like, what is wrong with me? I had terrible acne. I just felt so low, really upset by the fact that why am I sick again? Like, why? You know, you just always ask those questions on why, and like wanting to start a family and all of these things. And I was seeing friends around me start to have babies, and I was like, man, just how will our future look like? And my heart truly goes out to anyone that's dealing with infertility, because you never realize how much it hurts and how painful the process is until you're actually in it. And even though like it took us a year, there's so many couples that struggle longer for that. And I want you to know that I'm praying for you. And I remember like at times when I would see announcement videos or posts, like I would be happy, but at the same time there would be just this sinking feeling where I used to think like, what if that can never be us? Like, what if that will never happen? And it's in those moments where God, my husband Jordan, and my community, Christian community of friends, like truly is what got me through. And God's timing is always perfect. I know it is so hard to hear, like it truly is so hard to hear. His timing is perfect. So basically then over the next, from September on, I got at its worst in January. I found a natural like hormone doctor, which if you're interested, I was basically put on different natural supplements that I won't like mention here because everybody's different, but I can give you the name. She's an online hormone specialist. She was amazing. She put me on these supplements, and kind of we went through my diet and things like that, because my stomach, so your hormones in your stomach are very connected. I had terrible digestion. Like the amount of foods that I could eat were like null. It was so bad. My Lyme doctor and her basically put me on how best to eat and things like that to kind of get through that process. And they put me on supplements, and I was like so excited in February, but it takes time. Like all good things, it takes time. So for months, I would just be consistent with what they told me to do. It was in March or April, I got my period back. And I just remember like, I was just so happy. I was so happy. And obviously during that time, Jordan and I were still trying, just because you never know, even if you don't have a cycle, you still can get pregnant. And even though we weren't like, we knew that it was very unlikely, we just still wanted to know that we were trying. I could start to feel like I was getting better. My digestion was better. My skin is like completely like different skin now. I don't have those like cystic acne pimples anymore, which has been so amazing. I basically knew at that point like the chances are a lot better. My doctor had actually recommended this Taking Charge of Your Fertility by Tony Weschler. I think every woman, especially really any woman, to just like understand your cycle. If you want to do natural birth control, you want to get pregnant, or you just want to understand reproductive health, this is the book. Like, I cannot recommend it enough. I learned so much about my cycle, when's the best time to try to get pregnant and things like that. So if you are kind of just like, I don't really know where to start, or I feel like I could learn a lot more on how best to do this, I highly recommend this book. I actually got pregnant the month after I read this book, because I put in like all of the things that I learned in here, and we got pregnant. So I found out I was pregnant in September. So the baby will be due in May. Now we're at 14 weeks, and Lord willing, the baby just keeps growing healthy and strong. So that's kind of been our journey. Everybody's journey is so different, but truly, if you are dealing with infertility or just hormone issues, like irregular cycles, I know a lot of women deal with, especially if you have irregular cycles like I have. Like, and most women's cycle is not the traditional 28 days. I know mine for sure was, and it was always longer. So this book, I can't recommend it enough. And then just for a little quick recap, we did have a little scare in the beginning. My progesterone was low and I had a little bit of spotting. So at that point I was like, oh no, here we go. it's not gonna make it. And by the grace of God, I got on some like progesterone, and things have been well since. We heard the baby's heartbeat at week 7, and then week 8 they did like a few ultrasounds earlier for me, just because of the low progesterone, and just I was a little stressed in the beginning. So we heard the baby's heartbeat was really good and strong. I haven't gone since week 10, so I get to go next week, which I'm really excited about. We do know the gender. Really long story on that one, on what happened, but we do know. I'm not going to be sharing yet. I will be sharing soon, but we are so excited, like so happy. And other than that, my biggest symptom was fatigue. Like 6, 7, 8 weeks, I was on the couch. Like I took everything in me to be able to film videos and to just do things, like normal things around the house. Like it's pure exhaustion unlike anything I can describe. I would sleep for 12 hours almost every single day. Nausea around week 7 and 8, but I actually was recommended medication that helps with that, so that helped an absolute ton. Other than just some food aversions, like the nausea, if I would just get really nauseous, I would just lay down on the couch for a little bit, but that medicine was awesome. And I just noticed in the last like week, right when I hit around 12, 13 weeks, my energy started getting a lot better, the nausea's been a lot better, and my hunger has definitely increased. So those are kind of the quick little updates. I am gonna do a little Q&A over on Instagram if you guys have any like specific questions that you wanna ask. You also can ask them down below, but I'm gonna do like a little bit more in-depth one over on Instagram stories. If you would like to see, I can leave my handle here, but we are so excited for this next chapter, Lord willing. Thanks so much for watching today's video. I will see you all in my next one. Bye everyone.